Okay, we'll do some introductions. I'm Michael Matthews. I'll be running spectaculars for the Gauntlet Hangouts. As always, the Gauntlet inclusivity policy, including the X card, which at any point someone can do that in the window, or the roll 20. If you just type an X in there, the beep means it gets kind of seen or heard relatively quickly. Because in the Zoom group chat, I find it easy to miss that it's blinking sometimes. Um, yeah, my pronouns are he and him. We want to go with Sabine, Michael, and then Pearl.
Sure. Should I introduce my character as well as myself?
Sure.
Cool. My name's Sabine. I use any pronouns, and I will be playing my character, which is over here, Princess Yefana Abria, also known as Tech Dance of the Virtuosos. She is a legitimate princess of a tiny country. Her mother is still queen there, but she lives in America with her father. And she has been in the super soldier program for the American state and now can talk to machines and manipulate electricity. And also she can fly. And she really wants to be a superstar, I guess.
Excellent. And Mike?
Hi, my name's Mike. You can give me he/him pronouns. I am playing. Well, right now my character is defined as Magnetar, who wears a power suit with magnetism powers. I don't know if there is a concern about power overlap. It would be easy enough for me to modify my powers if we want some more, I guess, range. But otherwise, he is an executive. He's he's a bit of an Iron Man type, except I envision him not being the sole owner. Like maybe he's a partner who insists on being in the field because he's obsessive about testing his own stuff out personally, but perhaps not the prime head of the company in particular. So right now, that's my character.
Okay, and Pearl?
Hello, I am Pearl. I'm going to introduce you to my character. I think it makes more sense for me to just introduce him in character. You'll get a better sense. Hello, I am Chaim Weinblatt, but the team knows me as your bud made of mud. This seems silly to me, but they call me YBM squared, and I am a golem. I was summoned by a rabbi in Old Country many, many years ago, and he died without passing me on, but the last instruction was to fulfill Tikkun Olam, to heal the world. So that is what I do. I am not sure about all these people and their ways, but I have been told that I will fit in better if I wear the festive clothing. I have bought the hat. I do not know if it's working yet. But if you are not aware, golems are made of mud and clay. So I am made of mud and clay. And you can kind of guess the powers and vulnerabilities that come with being made of mud and clay. So, but I am happy to be part of the Virtuosos. Tikkun Olam, we heal the world. It is nice to meet you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so what we'll be able to do is get a little bit into some of the character stuff and sort of talk about how they came together. So we've got the Virtuosos, which had talked with the government last time. Sabine, you want to do a recap of what you remember? Or do you want me to?
I can try what I remember. There was this government executive type, like a bureaucrat, some kind of guy. I don't remember his name. He came on and told us that, yay, we could maybe work for the government because people with superpowers they don't have the best reputation. They're viewed as mutants and dangerous and stuff like that. And the government would like to have a team of people who can show the general populace that not all people with superpowers are evil and bad, and that some of us are really nice people and will save others. And he was a bit bullshitty, I guess, because we had questions, and then his boss, the shadow guy, who is the real boss of the government organization, sent him out, and we hammered out some kind of deal that we would do so, and we would get paid for it, which wasn't a great concern for my character, but for others it was important.
Yeah, and then they found out about there's like a cyborg incursion. And cyborgs are something that used to be used. Cyborg is something that used to be used kind of early on, but they found that things were going. You'd create a cyborg, and then very quickly they would be essentially out of obsolete. So, like, you got cyborgs running around with like a big floppy drive in there to kind of go their OS that's got like a fraction of the computing power of your phone. Which before they went into sort of the genetic alterations to create the supers. Yeah, they found those, and then there was a connection that Technodance did to one of them to discover that there was this artifact of some sort that is that's bringing them up, and they got something. Something's going to happen in the stadium. I'm trying to see if I put the look back at what we decided for the artifact, because that was on the other page. So yeah, the powerful artifact that they saw, it's one of those things when these happen, the players are able to determine using a sheet to kind of choose some stuff. It's a pulsing egg that hums loudly, that rapidly ages organic matter for those that sort of hold it around it. Many people are looking for it, and what it helps do is genetically alter people. And the question some of them came up with is, what will this thing hatch into? Because it seems like it might be alive. Now, character-wise, up to this point, most people believe the only things with these sort of superpowers were the Niners, the genetically engineered soldiers who went in, had the powers, had to take the drug 10 to keep their powers and such under control. They have recently discovered, though very few people know about it, that magic is something that exists. So, with your bud made of mud, have you been keeping low for a long time, or have you been hidden, or somehow able to pass?
Well, it is hard to hide when you are a giant figure made of mud and clay. And I do not think the hat has done enough. But I try to stay out of the way. And the good thing is that if I curl into ball, I look like heap of clay and mud. So they leave me alone. Thus far.
And how long have you been active as far as out and around doing things? Have you been sort of an urban legend, or just like kind of away for a while?
Well, I have been trying to do good things in the world for hundreds of years, as that is my mandate. But I did not discover that others were doing the same until very recently. I think this is good. No, it's not good.
Oh yeah, I thought someone else said good on there because I got a little bit of a weird thing on there. Yeah, cool. So there may be people who have like said things about you. You may have been an urban legend in some places, but only recently maybe been a little more open to the world.
The good thing about being from Jewish faith is there are very few of us left, so people don't take our stories very seriously. Golems, people think they are just from TV show. Nobody thinks to look for actual golem.
That could be an interesting thing. Were you kind of like culturally they would sort of hide, like people might have known about you, but like made sure that it wasn't a better known thing among those who should be in the know?
I mean, back in my in my original day. I don't know if I would call my day. Golems were summoned to protect people within Jewish communities, and we were not known for subtlety. So it has been a development over the time. There are not many left because usually when someone is done with the golem, they get rid of the golem. But my rabbi, sadly, he passed before, and then the tradition passed, so no one knows how to get rid of golem.
Oh, cool. Nice. That'd be an interesting thing to explore because I know that the traditional thing, it was the life was on the forehead, but if you changed it slightly, it became death. I believe was the at least
There are
the legends.
stories.
Yeah.
Many stories about golem.
All right, cool. Tell us a little bit about Magnetar.
Sorry, I expanded my window, so I was trying to find out where my mute button was. Turns out it's in the same place. Yeah, so my character is Daniel Judkins. He is a partial investor, one of the founding investors in a company called what did I? Oh shoot, I got rid of the page for it. Sorry, yeah, it was the name. The name of the company is actually I found some art to represent my character, and the artist painted his or her name, whoever's name, onto the forehead of the powered armor suit. So I've decided that that's actually the name of the company in the Spectaculars universe. It's Sabi-Lebev, if I remember correctly, because I think that was the artist's name. So that's the, and interestingly enough, I'm neither Sabi nor Lebev. I should probably change that to, my name is now Daniel Lebev, I guess.
Is that Lebev?
Anyway, so he is a founding investor, but not the controlling investor, because I don't want to go full Iron Man here and have him be the boss and the actual pilot of the Magnetar suit. Anyway, his power suite includes magnetism, energy blast, and super toughness. Very interesting potential for synergy with Tech Dance, I believe. We'll find out if we can make that work over the course of the session. His suit also provides machine strength and armor and an energy shield, so he's got plenty of redundant systems for protection. The weakness of the suit is that it operates on power cells and can often run out at inopportune times. He can fly with the suit. I've stylized his character traits as obsessive and optimistic. If you are a startup executive, tech executive, you're bound to be optimistic. And if you're actually the test pilot for your main invention, you've got to be at least a little obsessive to go along with that. So that is my character. And I figure this company would have started. I figure this might be maybe the main prototype, or at least the field prototype. I'm sure there's at least one backup, but I figure this suit, maybe this company got into business after the Niners started getting retired, and I imagine this company would have sought purely technological as opposed to biological solutions for enhancement of human operators. So I think that's for now what I've got for this character. And I figure this is being a member of the Virtuosos is good PR for the company.
Okay. What we'll do is, before we kick into kind of the ongoing story, we can do aspirations and turmoil scenes. If you want to think of, we've already got some for Yafana, and we'll be able to do something with her. But think of the aspiration is the thing that your character wishes to accomplish. It could be a personal or professional, and the turmoil is something that often causes them difficulties. It's one way you get these tokens that allow you to do retcons. It also is a way of kind of making sure that the character's personal life stuff is still involved in what happens in the game itself. So, Sabine, would you like to kind of explore your aspiration or your turmoil?
I'm sorry, I was just trying to close my curtains because it's getting dark in here. Okay, so I am here. My aspiration is I want to be kind of a superstar, like a movie star or pop rock star or something. I mean, it's not that Yafana is going out and says, I have to be a superstar. It's more like I really love talking to crowds and telling people that we are protecting them, and then they are all happy and cheering. That's something she really likes. And her should I continue with the other thing? The turmoil is that she is a princess actually, and there is an immigrant society from Aslarfan, and she has royal duties to perform. She has to be there at weddings and kiss babies and listen to people's troubles and try to get into bureaucracy and talk to people about visas and stuff like that.
Excellent. Do you have one of those that you would prefer to have a scene with to start off with?
I have no preference.
Okay. Well, since it'll kind of go along with what we're doing, why don't we do this idea of all of the kind of the becoming famous, like a movie star. So you have helped a ton of people. Just recently with the cyborgs, one of the government people sort of comes up to you, comes to your house probably at this point. It's got like a kind of a packet of papers, like so. We would like for you to go on Colbert.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Love it. Love to.
Taking a look at your favorables, kind of through the roof of the group, we think you're the one that maybe has the most breakout potential. So we sort of want to see what you might be in the late night phase. There may be some questions. I mean, your basic thing is you're going to try to win over the crowd. Ideally, this will be your first sort of public outing where they get to know you as a person.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Oh God, I love Colbert.
All right. We kind of go through and they work on getting you prepped. I mean, there's like it's weird because there's like a social team that comes out that are kind of prepping you for all the stuff. So, oh yeah, we can get the roles for the until a conflict scene. The roles aren't important. Well, we can get those here soon. So with those, when you're going on to Colbert, is there anything in particular that you think you would want to get across about you or the Virtuosos or any other things?
I think what I would like to get across is that basically we're people. Like we have trouble with cars and stuff. It's not actually true because I can fly, but I'm trying to sell that point that we are people. We have people problems as well, and of course I want to post just a little. I mean, like having electricity play around my fingers. It's a very harmless effect. I won't use it to stun anybody or something like that. Just for visuals.
Okay.
But I won't fly in there, and I won't try to talk to the cameras or anything like that.
Okay. So when they call you in, he does out in front of the audience. He pops his head in at one point, and before everyone kind of goes on, he goes, "So, how are you? Are you feeling okay? A little nervous?"
A little, yes.
Oh, just remember, everything we're doing here is nothing compared to what you were doing out there, saving the people from cyborgs. All you got to do here, just relax, have fun. Remember, I'm a professional. I'll make sure you're in good hands.
Cool. Yeah, thank you.
Anything in particular you want to talk about? Did you mention the stuff you already just mentioned, or are there other?
Well, I guess I really just want to ease people's minds about the Niners, really.
All right, sounds good. Well, we're going to call you up after Tom Arnold.
Oh my God. I'm fangirling.
Yes. So he goes up and he does his thing, and then someone comes and brings you sort of in the wing. He's like, right next we have Princess Yafana Abria. Is that how it's pronounced?
Abria.
Abria, also known as Tech Dance. And he sits back, and the crowd cheers as you come on. He's like, so first thing I want to know, Princess, is that a superhero thing, or are you an actual princess?
I'm an actual princess. My mother is the Queen of Asfalfan in somewhere in. I mean, she knows where that is. She describes where that is.
Yeah. So, if you're a princess, how did you come to be a Niner?
My father is an American, and I was actually I've been living with him since I was a really little girl. There was a bit of unrest in my home country. It's been settled since then, but I stayed with my father and I enlisted in the U.S. Army. Yes, when I turned 18.
So what drove you to enlist in the Army? You could have had your entire world set aside for you. I mean, to be a princess. I mean, Megan...
Yeah, that's exactly the point. I'm a princess. That means to me that I have a duty to my people, to all people, really.
Yes.
And I wanted to fulfill that. I don't fulfill that by sitting on my ass in a manner.
So what you're saying is Meghan Markle's, by not going back to Suits, has let people down.
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, she does different things as a princess. She represents her country, I guess.
So now you are a independent super team working to protect, basically, the city.
Yes, that's what we're trying to do.
He goes through and starts sort of asking questions and such. You have an opportunity to. He's doing what Colbert kind of is pretty good at doing, and sort of setting it up for you to look good, because that's kind of how most of the late night show talk hosts work now. Give you that ability to charm. So at this point, if you want to make a roll, now your charm somewhat is 90%. And I think with the stuff you said already, go ahead and give yourself 2 advantage dice and no challenge dice.
Cool. That sounds like 2 advantage dice and no challenge dice. Oop.
All right.
See how that goes. Okay. Huh. I rolled a 5. Is that okay? Is that right?
Oh, I'm actually showing you got a 53.
Oh, I've got a 53. That's lovely. Yes, 53 is fine.
It's a roll. It's a roll under. So.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, for the straight up thing, like for damage, you want to roll as high as possible. For other stuff, just a success. So that, and you also got a boon on there. So on that case, go ahead and take 1 more hero point.
Cool.
That you get to have going next one, and there's also a token on there that's a continuity token, which I will. Whoops. That. We can grab one of those as well. What those let you do is basically you can do a retcon, or you can do a flashback to have more information, to know something about something that's going on. If you want to create, and that'll often give advantages to you or disadvantages to other people when you use them. It helps create continuity, and I've got a sheet where we kind of put the information for the flashbacks up, but it comes off real well. So yeah, so the government social team, just one of them sort of waiting for you at the end. It's like, that was fantastic. Like, we're sitting here looking like the audience seemed to love you. Tonight we're gonna know like whole wise how it went, but you handled yourself really well out there.
Thank you. It was really exciting, and everybody was so lovely.
Okay. You go back to as Aslerfan?
No, not at that point, unless there's really a reason for me to go there because there's trouble or anything. Okay. I think there's a lot of good I can do in the US.
Okay. So yeah, they're kind of as you're leaving that night, you know, people there say goodbye. You head out, and it gets like you see on TV. You got you're showing up on the commercials coming into it, and like the next morning, there's actually like a pretty big hit, both on like YouTube as well as searching. The Virtuosos were trending on Twitter during the attack. You yourself are now trending after showing up on Colbert. All right. For Pearl, do you have an idea for aspiration or um, turmoil?
My aspiration, as always, is Tikkun Olam, to heal the world. Golems, we are very literal. We take the instruction and we obey. My trepidation, is that the thing? Something like that? What is it?
Yeah,
Ambition?
the turmoil, the thing
Turmoil.
that
That's
causes
the
you
word.
troubles.
Uh, is that someone will stop me from doing my work if they know the secrets of the golems.
Okay. So
And
primarily, if they know you're a golem, they might try to stop you because of that.
if someone knows the history well enough, they could turn me to dust.
Okay. Yeah, so it probably makes sense to not the turmoil one will probably come up a little less often than the aspiration in this case. So we can probably go with um, your aspiration. What are some of the ways which you try to heal the world outside of like the more general superhero type stuff?
Oh, I think I do whatever I can. I feel the team is good hearted, but they do not do enough. They only fight the big things, but there are children who are hungry. They need to be fed. So I go to find the food. And because I am Golem, for better or for worse, people usually give me what I ask if they don't know.
That sounds amazing. I would love to see what that's like. For your interlude scene. So, do
Sure.
you have places you might go to get like food? Like, do you think of like food kitchen, like food kitchens, or your own
It
thing?
is, I go to the grocer who would throw out the food that is still good and the restaurants at the end of the day because it's not as fresh, but it's still good for the homeless children. And they want to throw it out because of some law. And I do not care about the law. I care about the children. So I ask them nicely to give me the food.
Okay. Um, yeah. So we go. Do you want to go to like a restaurant or a grocery store?
I think restaurant is good.
Okay. So there is.
Italian. I like the Italian food.
Okay. So Menecci's is a fairly good Italian place that often again has quite a bit of food waste. It's popular. A lot of people come in, but they're also dumping a lot of stuff at the end of the night. Now, how tall are you?
8.5, 9 feet, somewhere in there.
The doors are a problem.
I know how to duck.
Okay, so are you going in like during business hours to talk to them?
No, no. When restaurant closes, I knock on back door because that is where usually dumpsters are. So they
Okay.
would bring the food.
You just hear. Did you forget your keys again? Give me.
Hello. I would speak to owner of restaurant.
Just, what? And the door kind of opens up, and this guy's got a cigarette in the mouth. Just looks up, and the cigarette just falls. It just falls and kind of hits the ground at his feet. He's just looking up at you. And goes, "What the hell are you?"
Do not be afraid. Look at hat. Very festive with bow. Is okay for you. But the food that you are throwing out, yes? The uneaten food from tonight?
You want the manager?
Yes.
Uh, uh, let me
The manager is in charge?
let me get him. And the door kind of shuts, and then you hear him having this like, you can kind of see like there's the light from the little like pinhole thing in there. Like there's a light, then it goes dark for a second. Like what the? And the door kind of like opens a tiny bit, and this guy's just sort of looking up and goes, Uh, oh, you don't look like any Niner I've ever seen. Uh, you said something about the food?
Yes, I require the food that you would throw out. The extra food you will give to me.
Okay. So I think at this point, the roll will be interesting to see how the scene also continues. Are you going to just charm someone, convince someone, or are you just trying to like straight up intimidate the person?
Probably convinced to start.
Okay.
If they don't comply, it will become something else entirely. But for now, it's to convince someone.
I am asking to be nice. I will take if I have to. Yes, I would go ahead when you hit the yeah. One thing you should do on your character sheet, the one that your bud made a mud with pearl on it. If you go to there and if you click on attributes and abilities, you'll see you see a thing on the right that says abilities.
Yes.
Okay, the first one should say roll. If you just click on show and macro bar.
Okay.
So this will mean at the bottom left-hand corner, it should be like your character's name and then just roll right after it. That will take care. That'll take care of all the stuff you need for rolling.
Okay.
So that'll make that part easy. So all you have to do is when you click that, it'll then ask you how many advantage dice and how many challenge dice. I would say go ahead and add 2 advantage and 1 challenge. The challenge is mostly because he'd be straight up intimidated because you're there. They're not going to be able to stop you, but I'm curious how well this ends up going for this person.
Let me check something because it only gave me the advantage and not the disadvantage. Do I need to click?
Oh, did one say challenge?
Or the no, it only gave me one that wasn't challenged.
Oh, okay.
Maybe having checked more things will help with it. What? Nope, advantage pool only.
That's weird. Let me try clicking it, the show and macro bar again. It should give you both.
I clicked all 3 the second time in case one of them wasn't enough, but I will unclick the initiative and group initiative and just put roll again.
Yeah.
And see if that works better this time.
Mm-hmm.
No. Just advantage pool.
Okay. Go ahead and hit return and see what happens.
Oh, then it gives me the challenge pool.
Gotcha.
So it gives it as separate things.
Yep.
Was it one?
Oh, yeah,
challenge?
2 advantage, 1 disadvantage.
Oh, okay. I'm going to cancel that roll then. Start over. 2 advantage, 1 challenge.
Okay.
I don't know where it showed up, but I imagine it showed up somewhere.
Yeah, so the die roller happens in the chat on Roll20.
Okay.
So what you did is, so you rolled 1 boon on the advantage dice, and you did not get a drawback on the disadvantage. So there's a number of things that the boons can do. So basically, when you roll, you've got your straight percentage, and then either boons or drawbacks. They'll cancel each other out on a 1-per-1 basis. But then after it does different things. Like one of the most basic is it can give you like a plus 10 on something, which on here will make it a success. But in combat, there's a bunch of stuff it can do. It can help you progress complications a bit more. But they give you bonuses, and drawbacks, of course, can cause other bad things to happen, more damage to yourself, other stuff like that. So in this case, you're convinced someone's an 80, and you rolled a 90. There's 2 ways to do it. The boon will actually mean we just add 10 to your percentage. It'll be the easiest thing to do. The other thing you would be able to do is like you can spend a hero point, then you'd roll another disadvantage dice for each hero point, which will raise your percentage chance to succeed by 10. So essentially, you can put a hero point to raise up your chance by 10, but just 1 more disadvantage for each one you put in, with a maximum of 4 being rolled for either of them. The basic is you'll succeed.
It seems like a better choice to just use the boon and save the hero points, yeah?
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, technically in the interlude scenes, you don't often have them, but the way I tend to run The same thing with Dusk City. We go a little bit more in depth sometimes on the interlude stuff. Yeah, so he just kind of like the guy steps out for a moment and is just like, uh, I mean, yeah, we got food we get rid of each night. You're taking it for kids?
Yes. Why do you not take for kids?
I
Are you heartless, man?
no, it's just that I mean we don't think about it. I guess we just end of a long shift and certain things got to go because before it gets bad.
So if you work, you believe in nothing.
I believe in stuff. It's just that we get busy.
I am tired of this conversation. You bring me the food?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. We get the waste. Let's gather it up. No,
Wrap up nicely for children.
Is there a certain place you take it? We could make it a normal thing.
This is good. Yes. Yes. Shelter. 2 blocks to the north, 4 blocks to the west.
Yeah, I think I know. I pass by it on the way home sometimes. Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about.
Good. I will check again in a week. If I hear there is no food coming, you will see me again.
He turns a little like pale when you say that. He goes, yeah, we'll take it down. Do you want to take this one yourself?
No, the children do not always take so well to the golem. You take. But you tell them someone is looking out for them, yes?
Yeah. Yeah, do you have a name?
Chaim.
Hi.
Chaim.
Okay. Most they probably know you if I describe this. Okay.
Good. I hope to not see you again. And I hope also that this encounter has encouraged you to think of other ways in which you might benefit the world. There is more to life than Italian food, although I admit I do like the lasagna.
We got some if you want it.
Yes, I will take.
Yeah. They go and they get you some food. You see them gathering up and like wrapping up food and such. They bring up one of the trucks, fill it up so they can take it down to the shelter.
What was your name again?
Gaetano?
Thank you, Gaetano. We have made good work today. You will be blessed.
Thank you. Okay.
I take my leave. There is much to be done. I just turn on my heel and walk away with my lasagna.
Yeah, there's a point after you leave where he kind of goes back in. He goes, I think we may have just been extorted to be good people. I guess we're taking the stuff, and then they grab it and they start going.
Later on, you see from behind a tree, looks through the window to make sure the food is there.
Yeah, the truck arrives. They bring in all of the food that they've been working on, and you've got like the lasagna that they brought you. You may have.
It's quite good. Much cheese.
You just sit there, kind of looking up like through the windows. All right.
Rise above the window shade slightly and duck back down.
I thought I saw something in the. We're scared kids. And Magnetar. Oh, and so yeah, you'll also get. Let me get you a continuity token. I'll deal that to you. So at any point, you can use this to create like a flashback to get like, oh, I know this person from this thing, or here's some stuff that's been set up or that you know, or for retcon to kind of go back and go, okay, but the real thing is it kind of acts like the old school superhero stuff that might appear in the little box text. Would we create like an issue and a comic series and an issue that it was from. Here's the information, and that stuff gets added to the world when those happen. Oh, and then also both of you on your right below where it says story progress. If you want to put an X in the first empty box on the character sheet, it's down below like the team role leader. It's the next set of tables. You get experience points for those, and then the continuity token and Magnetar.
Which page
Oh,
is
so
where we mark this?
Yeah, this is on your character sheet on Roll20.
Do I get another one because I already have one?
Yeah, so you get another one for the if you succeed at your aspiration or turmoil scene, you get another one.
And I'm sorry, can you tell me again what I'm marking? Because I was finding the right sheet.
Okay,
for it.
so if you scroll down below where it says team roll, the next set of tables it says story reward on the right.
Yes.
And just put an X in the first empty box.
I have no boxes, but
Where it says story progress, you don't got box.
I had a bunch of story rewards spaced oddly.
Oh, is the table not showing up?
No.
I can mark it for you. We'll probably save changes. If you open it back up, you'll probably see an X.
I do see an X. It's just not in a box.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. Might be
it's there in whatever way is needed.
Might be a browser thing. And Magnetar, what were your aspiration turmoils?
I've decided my aspiration will be to get rich off military contracts, and the turmoil would be possible neuro side effects from the Magnetar suit, starting with migraines, and who knows where that might lead.
Okay. So probably the one that's a little more actionable as a scene would be the getting rich off the military contracts.
Okay.
But actually, for that one, we'll ask a question of sort of everybody here because this might tie into that. So, how do Magnetar and your buddy made of mud know Princess Yafana and work with be part of the Virtuosos?
Well, that's a good question. Let's see. Yafana, you're a royalty, but you are also are you a dual citizen, I take it, or are you a straight up U.S. citizen?
I'm a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
Maybe we weren't in the military, right? So we can't know each other or maybe we know each other from there because you were with the power armor and one time had to go with us.
Yeah, possibly. I see the suit as being relatively new. I guess let's see. The Magnetar project would have begun after perhaps the fort as the Niner district was coalescing, and the need for an alternate way of soldier enhancement was readily apparent to the government. But this will be relatively recently. I don't suppose. Yeah, I guess we could say
it's almost
our public relations department said, "Hey, Magnetar guy, go and join the Virtuosos because they have good press. We need good press. Go and be there."
Especially since I guess the membership's a little fluid in the group, judging from the last between week 1 and now week 2. Sure, yeah, that sounds fine. Yeah, it could have just been a simple mutual synergy thing. And the company would be bound to have military contacts, so I suppose that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's how he would have gotten into the team.
Cool.
My guess for me is that one of you tripped over me when I was in huddled up mud form.
Cool.
And once we got to talking, we realized we had similar purposes.
Yeah, maybe one of those classic superhero misunderstandings that starts in good 10 pages of fighting, and then we resolve our differences over a handshake.
Okay. So it sounds like also the Magnetar thing might almost be a evolution of the patent armor, or like something that you might be looking to.
Sure.
Because the patent armor is limited; they can only have one set of abilities at once. But yeah, yours has got sort of multiple. So the problem probably with selling this to the military is it's super expensive. Will be part of it. Plus, the nature of it would mean it would kind of have to be made to fit like individual soldiers.
Mhm.
Uh, so in this case, you've been put it this way. What kind of problems you've run into like selling it? Like you've got a general who doesn't like you.
Okay.
Um, and what kind of problems have you two had in the past?
Well, let's see. There could have been maybe he had been a former member of the board of directors, and was squeezed out by a rival upon the board. Um, Maybe someone who had better business sense than military sense, or had fostered alternate contacts and decided we didn't need that particular general anymore. Um, and maybe that perhaps the general was a little too maybe he was actually performing the way it's supposed to be performed, and bringing up being basically the devil's advocate slash conscientious objector to how we were planning the way in which we're implementing the technology. Maybe we're pushing too fast and too hard to secure all the contracts, and he was looking out for the actual pilots. Because as a military man, he would be naturally sympathetic to that side of the equation, and maybe we saw fit to oust him in favor of someone who would not be as much of a a devil's advocate, I guess.
Okay. So we'll say you have a meeting that's supposed to come up with sort of the military head of R&D. When you get there and you sort of sit down, General Erickson, who again used to sort of work along with you but had some concerns about the project, is the one that comes and sits down across from you.
Okay.
Well, and you just said you changed the last name?
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I kept my name to Judkins, just because it's already in the logo, and I like that logo. So
Right.
yeah, the name of the company is Sandy Libidev, but yeah, I'm still Daniel Judkins.
Okay, so Judkins, what are you trying to peddle to us today?
Well, I'm just we've decided that the Magnetar suit would be a great asset for this new Virtuosos project. Is he connected to the Virtuosos project then?
More the military itself. The Virtuosos probably be a separate thing. Like they're contracting with the government, but it sounds like you're trying to sell more to the government, like more bring them into the military.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Well, I just wanted to, basically, I just wanted to make sure there weren't any more hard feelings about what went down last year. As you can see, the suit's working great, so I hope you can appreciate that whatever all that unpleasantness at least came to a good point, and we're hoping that we can still find a way that we can both benefit from that point.
Well, Sue's working great for you because, well, you're the person that it was made for specifically. That becomes a problem if we're trying to roll something out across a wide variety of soldiers, different sizes, body shapes, musculatures, levels of experience, and everything else.
Well, that's that's why we're here. I mean, we appreciate that there are adjustments to be made, and every time I put on the suit, we're collating more data that will help us smooth out the functionality and broaden it. And we've made some good progress. I mean, we're starting to create some general neural templates that can ease the transition and the internal controls.
Well, that'll be nice. Is that gonna help give Process his regular walk back, or is he gonna stay with a limp from that one point you put him in traction when he tried to take one of the suits out?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you need to check on him because last I heard, he's not limping anymore, thanks to the and stop me if this is not in fact the case, due to the rehabilitation we've been funding for him. It actually seems to have been coming along quite nicely, which thank goodness.
Yeah, you helped him out a bit, but his walk has never been quite the same. He still hurts a bit when things are raining out. What I'm worried is it might end up killing some people. How many others have you tried this out on besides you? Successfully and long term.
Well, I am the right now. I'm the public face of the project. Because that's how much I believe in the technology and the interface. I mean, just you can don't mind this. But right now, we do have some like one other person prepping. We're starting to do some analysis readings on a potential second tier pilot or a beta tier pilot. But right now, I'm the biggest. I'm on the front lines for now. It's me on the front lines for now. That's what he does.
You know what you remind me of, Daniel?
Well, I'm gonna guess a wayward son, perhaps. Family.
Not so much. You remind me of test pilots. Now listen, I respect the hell out of test pilots. What they want to do is they want to get into something that might very well kill them if it goes wrong and just push that sucker until it just about shakes apart. It takes a special kind of person, takes a special kind of guts, and that's a great thing to have. However, there's a reason test pilots aren't the ones that are there when things are mass produced. There's a reason the test pilots aren't the one that come to sell the planes that nearly killed them. We make things safe first. We don't rush ahead.
Well, what can I say except you've never. I think he said something along the lines of, "You've never had me make." Wait, am I? Yeah, I am. Actually, I'm not the actual designer. No, because I'm not a scientist. You've never. He'll just say that you've never had our scientists or our engineers, I should say.
I ain't talking to them, am I? Go ahead and make a roll. This is probably your convince someone.
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead, add 2 advantage and 2 disadvantage dice.
Okay. And we've got.
Those will all even themselves out.
Yep. Well, much like my power piloting, my armor piloting skills, I'm all over the place.
Yep. So there he kind of just leans back. He goes, I'm sure we're going to be talking about this more in the future, but I need to see a whole lot more information before I can trust this stuff to be mass produced and given to soldiers. I don't need other people dying.
Well, keep your eyes on the front pages. So you can set that Google search to Virtuosos. That's what he says.
All right. Okay, go ahead and take a continuity token.
Okay.
Which I think you already have, actually, for that. Oh, swirly one. So we'll get everybody together at the Virtuosos. So one thing you saw is you saw something with the stadium. They searched the stadium, the places where you saw the artifact with the Neuralink with the technopathy. It hasn't appeared there yet, and they're not really keen on shutting down the stadium, but they are keeping an eye and will sort of get a hold of you. I don't know if any of you are doing something or if you as a group want to get together and sort of talk about what your next step there might be.
I think that's a good idea because the other two haven't been fully briefed on the whole situation. And then maybe we can come up with something we want to do about the whole thing together. Okay, so our headquarters, the Virtuoso Veranda, is actually a mansion. It actually belongs to Yefana But well, she has turned it over to the Virtuosos. It's like a California mansion, I guess, mostly. It's a bit style of the building is a bit Middle Eastern, but there are every kind of modern accommodation you might wish for in that house, and some that you probably don't know because we had an inventor on our team, and I think there might be some stuff around here that has been invented by her. Well, yeah, it's the house is big enough to so that I have to look up the YBM squared can move around without breaking anything too badly, I guess. I mean, the doors aren't quite high enough for him to get through without ducking, but should be okay, right? So, I guess we come together then. Yeah, have you heard about the situation with the cyborg yet?
I do not cyborg.
Okay. So there was this attack by the cyborgs last week, I think, and we stopped them. And then we got some information that there were some places that were active. And the next thing we believe will happen under the stadium, but the city hasn't found anything, and they don't want to shut down the stadium because people need to watch their football or baseball or whatever games. And yeah, what is behind that thing is I think it's maybe sort of an egg. I don't know much about it, but somebody from adopted a cyborg. Stupid name, but it's stuck.
No. Do you think would I be able to use my suit to perform an MRI on the thing?
Yeah, if you had it, we don't.
Oh, we don't have it. Okay.
No, we just got the information by hacking into the cyborg suits.
Okay.
You are not speaking in riddles. There's literally egg.
I think so. Yes, it's not a metaphor.
There are eggs everywhere. Why do we want this egg?
Because I think it's controlling the cyborgs. And those cyborgs, when they appeared, they were starting to try and demolish some buildings with people in them.
Because of egg.
Yeah. We don't really know it much more. We just had this map with a stadium on it, and there was this brief impression. It was not very precise of this pulsing orb egg thing. I don't even know if it's really an egg, but it kind of stuck.
I will get egg. This is
okay.
His mission?
Yeah, sure.
I will get egg.
How?
I will run until I reach egg. Pick up egg.
Yes.
Bring back.
Yes, but we don't know where it is.
In stadium, yes?
Maybe. That's what we don't know. That's the problem. If we had known where it is, we could have done this earlier. But right now, it's kind of hard to say. But something is going to happen at the stadium, I think, something egg related. And we might pick up damn English, stupid language, sorry. We might pick up some hint of where it is.
Yeah, perhaps if we have any, do we have any active cyborgs left? Or if not, even if not, perhaps I could look at the wreckage, try to analyze, try to get an energy reading off it, and then try
we did take some captive, but I believe that the government took them. But maybe we can access them.
Yeah, because if I could get an energy reading off those cyborgs, maybe I can use that to trace. Assuming, of course, that the this egg artifact emits a similar energy signal, I could get a reading off the cyborg and perhaps use that to track down the egg.
That's a good idea.
And then our bud made of mud can go ahead and know where to run to acquire the egg.
Yes. I never
Cool.
tire. I run whole way.
Well,
I
certainly
get
got my suit beat there. So I guess, do we know which government agency did cleanup after that fight?
Yeah, there would have been a standard that would come in and kind of take them. There's a good chance the cyborgs themselves were probably taken away to study to see if they are, because what you saw was a little bit different from standard old cybernetics, which is one of the things with the technopathy. You were definitely you've seen some of the old cybernetics before. They're sort of old fashioned comparatively, because considering how much technology goes, these were something a little bit different, but seemingly based on them.
There was something alive and about the tech, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Would technopathy be used to find the egg through?
Yeah, that's how I found about how I found out about the egg.
Can you find out more?
I can try, I guess.
Yeah, let's see if we can. Let me see if I can talk to a person who can talk to the person who can give us a second look at the cyborg remains.
Cool.
How's that sound?
Might
What?
still be active. Actually, the cyborg was paralyzed, not destroyed.
All the better then. At least we'll know it has a live energy signal. Michael, I was wondering when we might expect a bio break.
I was actually about to suggest this is not a bad time to take a quick bio break and then come back and find the cyborgs.
Sweet.
Okay,
Back in a bit.
see you about 5.
Say, Michael, I think I need to give you a heads up that I'll probably need to un-RSVP from perhaps the rest of the series, because the next 2 Saturdays I've got stuff lined up that I'd like to get into. So this might be my one chance at the spectaculars of this month. Yeah. In 2 weeks from now, I think my parents are going to be visiting, and then next week there's a canvassing, a political canvassing thing going on. I wanted to take part in. Mm-hmm. It was a bummer. I was looking forward to going through the whole line because I really enjoyed last month's series, but then I remembered the schedule. I know most elections are still, all the big ones are happening next year, of course, but I live close to Virginia, and Virginia staggers their elections, so they always happen on odd numbered years. I guess they like to keep their stuff separate from everyone else's, because everyone usually falls on the even numbered years. So that's just around the corner now. It's like 2 months from now, they're doing their elections, and Virginia is a very, very tight state, very close state between the 2 big parties. Sure. Oh, it looks like Pearl's here. She just messaged, even though we don't see her. Did you see my cat earlier, a couple minutes ago? That was Mr. Doobles. Yep, he's off by the window now, napping. Mm. Oh, right. Yeah, our apartment's pretty small now for 2 humans and 2 cats, and we're going to be moving in a couple months, or actually like about a month to a bigger place. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that almost more for the cats than myself. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things we're looking forward to. But yeah, I can imagine how hard it must be for a big dog. I believe it. I mean, they're pets. Yeah, we get close to our pets. Mm-mm. Oh wow. I thought there might have been like a surgery or something. Whoa. Hmm. Right. But you don't need insurance for your dogs.
To keep the herd together, everything in its place.
Sure.
We had with where we had started, or we ended. So Daniel, you're going to be looking for talking to somebody to see about getting a hold of one of the cyborgs.
That would be great.
Okay, who are you calling?
Let's see. I guess. Well, let's. Who do I? Okay, so I need to find like I need to find a government and we don't remember what we didn't specifically define the agency that to control their.
Often just referred to as the agency.
Okay. That the agency. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I may not necessarily have.
Yeah. Wait,
so-
wait, I can talk to them because these are the ones that signed the contracts and that asked us to do that stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we do have all have contacts then.
Yeah, we do all. I think we all know these guys. I think even Chaim would have at least have a sort of meeting for a contract signage.
Okay. Well, we'll talk to whoever our liaison is. I know the first session you all met with the head honcho and the even header honcho, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we met with the shadow.
The shadowy man.
Yep, Daniel Wynn, and Derek Wynn, and the shadowy man.
Yeah. So I don't know if there are regular contacts. Maybe there's a lieutenant or an acting whatever that we would have regular contact with. Yeah, let's talk to them. Have my people talk to their people.
So you're looking for someone sort of in the research division, or
they would be the ones. I guess unless they just Raiders of the Lost Ark did and just threw it in a big anonymous warehouse. I would assume that they've got some scientists looking into it, and that might be closer to my bailiwick. Although I'm not. I have to keep reminding myself that might be a character trait as well as a player trait that I have to keep reminding myself I'm not a scientist / engineer, because I'm not Tony Stark. I am not Tony Stark, but I would at least know the people to talk to, the people who could talk to the people who will get us in.
Okay, so
the scientist, someone who get a message to the scientist sounds like a good plan.
So Musin Kashgari is the one who she's essentially like part of the head of the R&D or one of the ones that works there. Someone that you've all dealt with before. She's also one of the ones that came and took the cyborgs away from the site after shutting them down. So you get a hold of her?
Sure.
Hi, this is Musin.
Hi, this is Daniel. I'm still remembering my name. What was it? Judkins. Yes, this is Daniel Judkins. We need to. We need to see to someone to for access to the to the cyborgs that were taken away after last week's conflict site. We have an investigation, and we need to try to get some energy readings off of the remnants of the cyborgs.
I might be able to get you some energy reading information. We've been doing tests on what's been left. Is there a specific reason that you need this?
We just wanted to get an energy reading to as a means to fashion a detection system in case there are more incursions or any more related technologies out there.
We can send you some stuff, or do you want to come on in?
I think it'll be safer if we came to you.
Okay.
Yes, and there'll be as many as 2 others with me, if that's all right.
Not a problem. I'll call down, let them know you might be coming in.
Oh, excellent! Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll relay that to the team that we've got that we all have access to the holding site, the lab.
Cool. So, should we take a car?
Oh yeah. Well, I can't. Well, if you, I don't think I can carry. I don't think I can carry us out unless I don't know. It depends on if YBM. If you're Ferris at all, that'll be helpful. But I'll assume that I'll assume I can't just like electromagnetically whatever. I'm sorry.
That's okay. What were you saying?
I was just asking if you're metallic in nature, if you have any metal in you too, that I might be able to latch onto with my powers.
No, clay and mud. Just clay and mud. But I can probably fit in the trunk.
Well, I've got a big car. You don't have to go into the trunk.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah, well, yeah, was a birthday gift.
I will sit in the birthday gift.
Very good.
I may fly because I'm not sure if there'd be room for armor and golem.
Yeah,
You said it was
armor.
a big car, right?
What?
You said it was a big car, right?
It is a big car. You can put the armor in the trunk.
Oh, I see. That's true. That's true. What are the odds of us getting in a fight here?
Non-zero. But I think they're really low.
Right.
Also, I think YBM Square and I can fight off stuff until you get changed.
That's fair. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Stand behind me. As long as they don't have lots of water, good.
It is I, the sprinkler! No!
Oh, well, the eternal nemesis, the sprinkler. Terrible guy.
We're going out to fight. Someone check the weather forecast.
Okay. Didn't somebody have weather control, or did I just dream that?
I almost took it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Cool. So let's go.
Okay. So, I just picture, because you're mud and clay. I'm assuming you're fairly heavy.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing the car like I don't know if it's going like that and like occasionally sparking as it hits the ground, or is it
Maybe.
one with enough like shock and such on it that that's actually not too badly.
I think
That's-
I've done this enough times to know to lay evenly across the back seat so the car doesn't tip.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that first time I tried it.
You're great
Oh.
back there when there's snow, though. With the weight, get the traction. Yeah, so
Interesting.
Well, snow is not so good for me. Never mind.
well, it's San Francisco. You'll be okay.
There's only fog. And that won't melt you, right? Fog.
No, just water. I come back, just takes me a bit to reform, and sometimes I look a little weird at first.
Could you change your face? Like if you got a bit wet, could you change your face?
I could probably just erase my face. But
Don't.
I find that, the hat only goes so far. I think if I were faceless golem, hat would not suffice.
Yeah, but you could sculpt your face into, I don't know, the image of Brad Pitt or something.
Brad Pitt,
He's an
Brad-
actor.
golem.
Hmm?
You want Brad Pitt golem?
I'm just spitballing here. Oh, wow. Okay,
If you give me a bit, I work on it. Yes.
sure. If
Okay.
you want to, if it's okay with you, you have to do that.
No, I don't think that's it. I will
No?
need more time. I am sorry.
Well, no, it's okay. Thank you for trying. I am driving slowly.
You ever seen Moomin shots?
No.
They used to appear on like the Muppet Show at times. But there's like this dance troupe that they would have these clay things on the thing, and they would use that to like change the expression because like the eyes, eyebrows, and mouth would be made of clay on their masks.
Oh, I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
they're
I
like-
love the Muppets. Surprise, surprise.
All right. So yeah, as you head there, they wave you through to a couple of the things. There's a point with a metal detector. They're just like, oh, we know them. Let them through. And you end up meeting with Musin. Just so I know that you already connected with the cyborgs. Any particular things you're looking for? We can look at what we've already gotten, or you can take a look yourselves.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think if you wouldn't mind us taking a look at what you've analyzed so far, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, if you'll come with us, and she does turn to your bud made of mud and goes, "We still would love if we have an opportunity to study you a bit, maybe to figure out what you are exactly."
I am Golem.
But I mean, magic's not really that much of a thing. I mean, there've been rumors, but I mean, it would just be interesting to see what animates you.
You know the rule in Judaism, yes, about Kabbalah.
I don't.
If you study the Kabbalah before you are 35 and without studying Torah for many years, very carefully first, you will go mad.
Okay.
You learn how to make Golem by studying Kabbalah. This is what you wish?
Not me, but I think there might be some people who are curious.
And you are fine for them to go crazy, yes?
Well, I mean, they can do it without going crazy, right?
No, this is what I am saying. To study Kabbalah without the proper preparation make you go crazy. To make Golem, you study Kabbalah. It's not that hard. You are simple, yes?
No, not simple. We know people who may have studied it.
No one who studies Kabbalah does this. Those people who study Kabbalah are wise. You are not wise.
She just sort of turns, sort of wide-eyed to the other ones and goes, "Well, good to know I'm not wise in my own lab."
But did you study the Kabbalah?
I did not study the Kabbalah.
Then you are not wise in that way.
Well, glad we're having semantics.
Can we save all this for Torah study, maybe? Get to the cyborgs.
He goes, "All right, so you got one of the cyborgs laying on basically out on an examination table. You've got like some of the cybernetics have been opened up, and the insides are not the stuff you normally see. I mean, normally they're the technology is advanced in a lot of respects with a normal cyborg, but this is something quite a bit different. Because yeah, we've been poking around trying to figure out what makes this work, but it seems like there's no power source that we can kind of tell. It mimics the kind of cybernetics that we used to use 30 years ago, but it doesn't work the same way. What do you do?
So no discernible power source. And it mimics 30-year-old technology, but it doesn't work the same way.
Yeah.
Because the outside looks practically identical. Once you start opening it up, the systems we expect to find there are not there. It's complicated, whatever it is, but it doesn't work real well.
Now, if it's a cyborg, that would entail some kind of organic component.
The human body, yeah.
Okay. What do we know about that? Like how much, first of all, are they humans on the inside?
He goes, well, as far as we can tell, they're human. However, the DNA shows every single one of them is essentially close family member. But they don't share some of the same physical features. Their DNA is unusual. It's been altered, but not in the same way as with Niners.
And they're not clones of each other, right?
Don't seem to be, but the cloning technology we have is not great. But it's not the identical. It's the DNA is more closer to familial than anything.
Okay.
Could the power source be something in the biology of these guys?
Possibly. If it is, we don't know how to tap into it. we've been looking through and seeing it. If it, I mean, good lord, if something like this could run off of like human bioenergy, revolutionize everything.
Yeah, I can't tell you much about biology. I can tell you that the tech harkens back to that egg thing, and that was what we were going for, right? Finding the egg.
Right, finding something that could help us track down the egg.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And she's got like an iPad thing, and she kind of gets a few things. She goes, yeah, and then she even shows you there's like a video feed of the place that you sort of saw things happening in the stadium, and there's some guards there. She goes, we've had guards set up there for like a week and a half now, and nothing's shown up. I mean, we're waiting. There's game tonight, but
oh, maybe that's when they will make an appearance. I mean, come on, these guys, they are set out to create chaos. That was what the cyborgs were about. And I guess that's what's going to happen at the stadium. But is that where the egg is? Because it's not yet, right?
Possibly. I mean, if that's where you saw it, but they didn't show up to the game last week, it could be. I mean, we're dealing with stuff here we haven't seen before, and then at that point, her eyes do kind of go to the golem. At least seen much of. We've gotten reports that there's been seen some magic and some other stuff. We've got some proof of it now, but this is either alien, which we've heard a few things, and a friend of yours apparently is working with stuff they claim is alien.
She has an alien gauntlet.
Yeah. But the world just got a whole lot weirder in the last 2 weeks.
I guess the world has always been pretty weird. And I'm looking at the golem.
I have been around a very long time, so if you think I am weird, then yes. I think I am simply golem. But I understand you do not know the old ways.
And she kind of looks at you, she's like, I mean, is magic something that used to be more common, or is it just rare instances?
It is not magic. It is spiritual work from Heart of Rabbi.
As well. And then she kind of shows you there's some video of someone like basically doing these hand gestures and such. These magical symbols appear around and burn themselves into the cell wall as she, like a wall of a prison cell, as she steps through like a portal that appears, and she's like, this happened a couple weeks ago. First thing we've seen that doesn't correspond to anything we know from any Niner abilities. Definitely nothing along with the Niner abilities that she had from her stint in the military.
I have not seen these sigils in many, many years. Who is this woman?
Alicia Bennett. Sherlock was her code name. Hyper intelligent. The one thing you would, as one out of character, the one thing you would know is the symbols are from a wide variety of different belief systems. Like, it's kind of the thing that like someone would throw in if they just wanted it to look magical. But actually, I'd say this: did you want to change your identity?
I probably should.
Okay,
since
because
I didn't have one really at the first.
Yeah, it would make some sense for if you want to roll to see what you might know about the magical systems or like the stuff here, because you probably have a internal tie to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. What?
I had dealt you 3 of the cards.
Okay. One second. Oops, I hit the hero. There. Right. No, it's still the hero. Oh, they show up on the same thing, I see. I do not think I'm a government agent.
Also, take a quick look at the full thing to see if there's something that kind of fits what you're thinking a bit better.
The full thing being.
Oh, I'll actually look at the PDF real quick for the identity cards. For celebrity counselor, detective, diplomat, doctor, firefighter, government agent, independently wealthy, laborer, lawyer. Because yours actually,
Please sounds
what might
right.
work for you.
Is it in the drive?
Um, the full thing isn't. However, I'm looking at a couple things that might work because I think actually pulling something like if everyone else is cool with it, I'm totally cool with pulling something from the magical one for you because you went with Golem.
Okay.
Because with that one, we've got like the Eldritch Mysteries one. There's like archaeologist, alchemist, circus performer, clergy, explorer, fortune teller, historian, librarian, monk, paranormal investigator, recluse, stage magician, thief, vagabond, warden. And something like clergy or alchemist might actually fit.
Alchemist might fit. Probably not clergy. Uh, Golems like are very obedient and
Mhm.
literal. They are less likely to uh, like.
The actual, I was thinking more of the stuff, but if like alchemist could work too.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
trying to find it in the document.
yeah, let me. Where did I put those?
You have a page number.
Oh, it's because it's actually it's on the PDF with the stuff. Let me pull it up onto roll cards, identity cards. That's what I need. Page. That should be 42. Let me just double check this. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna drag it onto roll 20.
And where in Roll20 are you putting it?
Not up here where I dragged it in. Let me try it again.
If you put a link, I'll print it up for myself.
This then.
I can keep all the same powers and things and just swap out the.
There we go.
Where is it?
I put it on your character sheet.
Okay. Try to find it. Where did my character sheet go? Construct. No, that's not it. Alchemist. Aha. Okay.
That might be a little more limiting.
I mean, I think it's more accurate than the actor.
Okay.
I don't know anything about the outcast one you mentioned, which seemed like it might be it, but I'll take this one.
Okay.
I probably know how to do some of these things. Okay, so what did you want me to roll for with
So I
regard
think
to sigils?
so. This would be it'd be research something in this case, and give yourself because you are a creature of a sort of magic. Give yourself 3 advantage dice.
Okay.
You may get rid of the actor one.
I do not know how to do that.
Oh, I got rid of
There.
it for you.
Okay. So 3 advantage dice.
Yep.
And any challenges?
No challenges.
Okay.
All right. 54 with 2 boons. Go ahead and give yourself 1 more hero point.
Hooray.
What you have for next time. So yeah, one of the things as you sit there as you're looking at it, there is an underlying sort of system of magic that little bits and pieces of are in um, a number of different magical traditions throughout the world. There's a good portion of what people will do is ceremonial and specific for it, but it's almost like an accent. There's a base stuff that's sort of true, and then there's little flourishes that are part of a bunch of them. These are all like essentially transportation style runes from a variety of different uh, cultures and belief systems. The the magic here is sort of tapping into something that on a real um, that might be a possibility. A real basic level is essentially Uh, some people say like Enochian is like the language that you speak that everyone can understand. It's sort of a magical version of that when you kind of boil it down to it. Like what this person's doing is sort of real effective magic,
Okay.
but it's the kind that not very few people are going to actually know.
This woman is very skilled and possibly very dangerous. To know this many things from this many traditions is very rare. Where did you find her?
Well, she was a part of. She's kind of like checks on the iPad again. She was a member of intelligence during a few of the last wars. She's been working with the patent teams on and off since she went out of the military. Occasionally brought back in for contractor work. Uh, I mean, she's not the only. She's not the only Niner we have that's actually got hypercognition as an ability, but we haven't seen any of the rest of them do this. We've been looking into them since we saw this.
We must tread lightly. Uh, Virtuosos, have you encountered this person before?
No, we haven't. We've
Never
just
heard of her.
heard.
We
I've
must
heard
be
of her,
greatly
but-
on guard.
Yeah. Oh. So this is not just gibberish.
No,
What she's
no,
using.
this is powerful magics.
Okay. Didn't know. Thought it might have been copied from Supernatural or something like that.
I don't think she would have gone through the wall if she were copying supernatural.
It's a
I don't
show.
know.
It's a TV show. Sorry.
I guess. I do not think a TV show lets you walk through the wall unless the TV is more powerful than I think.
That's kind of ominous, actually.
In any
I mean,
case, I
yeah,
think
well-
you send me first. I will create mud barrier.
Okay. I guess that's fair. But still we have to get to the stadium, I think, and see what's there, because I'm getting tired of looking at these looking at these cyborg thingies and not getting anywhere.
And about that
Because I can read them, but not far enough.
about that point when you say that, there's some of the bluish stuff on the cyborg starts to light up.
Oh.
And its body convulses a little bit, but it's kind of tacked down, and she looks at it. She's like, "This thing's been inert since the attack."
I want to get into it right the second it starts moving,
Okay,
and try to find out where it's getting its energy or orders or whatever from.
all right. Go ahead and make I'm assuming technopathy.
Yeah,
Make a technopathy roll. Give yourself 2 advantage and 2 disadvantage dice.
nice. Any dice? Oh wow, I rolled terrible. I've rolled terrible.
All right.
And I have a drawback as well.
Okay. So with that drawback, there's a moment of like as you kind of connect with it, you get where the power is coming from. As you like, there's a moment where you're almost like drawn into something. You can kind of feel this thing appearing back at the stadium, and it is very much aware of you.
Oh.
And there's just like
Hi.
there's this thing sort of staring back at you from it. You can't quite make it out because it's so bright. It's painful to look at.
Can I spend a hero point here to get my technopathy thing higher? No, it's only at 80%, so it wouldn't help. Okay,
Well,
forget it. Sorry.
Could I possibly assist with my magnetic powers?
I would say at this point, because the important thing is it's been sort of activated
Okay.
at this
Okay.
point, but it's even if you brought it up, you'd have kind of the same stuff. It's just we're gonna get it. It's aware of you now. Is essentially what's happened. So it's essentially it turned into a success, but now it knows.
Okay. Can I say hi? Probably not.
Yeah, you get kind of shunted out of it relatively
Okay.
quick. It's painful.
Damn. Okay. So I stumbled a bit and oh my god. Oh, damn.
What happened?
I don't know. I connected to something that was very bright and it saw me, I guess.
Were you able to get a sense of where that entity was?
Did I?
Well, at that point, too, the alarm like starts going off, and then she's just like, "Oh, we got something." Like what you saw is in the stadium where the guards were. There is now just this large, almost mystical-looking machine has appeared in the thing, and there is the egg that's sort of pulsating.
Mm.
Let's get there.
She's like, it's down the stadium, and she's like, one of the problems is we've got people. The game starts in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's why we should get going. Bye.
Okay. How do you get
I
there?
don't know how quickly you move.
How about perhaps I can, if you all get in the car, I can carry the car. At least that way we don't have to worry about traffic lights and.
I don't need a car to get there quickly.
Oh, right, of course. But however, Bud may.
But I can't carry him.
I can just run.
How quickly do you run?
I don't know.
Oh.
But I don't get tired, so I don't have to stop. Once I start running, I can just keep running.
I said with your magnetism, you could lift the car.
Yes, if you would.
Yeah, you lift the car and he gets in the car. Okay.
If that sounds
Cool.
good to you, YBM.
Fine. To me, it's my car.
I'll be gentle.
Please.
All right. Since we're going into a conflict scene, up towards the top, there are.
Should we set our roles for the team now?
Yep.
Because
That's what I was gonna.
okay, cool.
Yeah, there are. If you want to, you've got the leader one right now. I don't know if you want to keep that one. But there's like support, tank, booster, artillery, striker, tactician, and controller, as well as leader are the different roles. And if you go kind of in the middle towards the top, there are a series of cards for each of those. You can kind of look them over and claim one. They each give you a specific ability that you can use by spending a hero point.
So they're the role cards that say team on them, and then there are the initiative cards that go with them. Am I understanding correctly?
Yeah, basically you won't have to worry about the initiative cards that go with them because I'll just have I'll have a thing I can highlight and then just hit group initiative, and it'll appear in a little window.
I think I'd like to take controller because if that machine it's bound to do something terrible, and perhaps I could use my controller role to try to hamper that.
I'd stay with leader if you don't mind.
Yeah, you make a good leader.
I could do really support, booster, or striker. Those are all things that I feel would be in my wheelhouse. So whatever other people think is most useful or best fits the character.
How about tank? Because you said you would stand in front of everybody and make a mutt wobble.
Yes. I just can't tell which one of them is most likely to do that.
Yeah, that's tank.
Oh, wait. I had scrolled not far enough. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and take the tank.
Cool.
Okay. So Magnetar is controller.
What is this again?
Leader is Tech Dance. Oh, who's having a moment? Who's having a moment? Bud made a mud is our tank. Okay. So you all fly there using the car. Just a here comes, and then just a car just coming behind. So the stadium itself is kind of packed to the gills. There's a bunch
on the way. Do you think we could? Should we signal an evacuation?
I think that's something the guys at the lab can do.
Okay.
Yeah, they said they kind of let you know on like a comm link. It's like we're gonna see what we can do to get it out there without people panicking, because if people start to try to run out of there, fleeing for their lives, that becomes dangerous very quickly. So we need to have people move kind of slowly but steadily. We'll see what we can do. So it is the place where it is actually downstairs past the locker rooms. You had been there right after the attack to see it, to double check and see if the stuff was there. Um, as you go through, like some of the guards have already been told that you're coming. They sort of wave you through and then into these sort of large underground tunnels that will take you towards it. You can actually hear on your way down like some blasts, and then you see one guy that's like just a security guard, one of which who had been one of the agency people, got a gun just sort of right now. It's just sort of slung over his body as he's hauling ass away from the room in which the thing is. And he's on his way. He sort of skids to a stop when he sees you. He goes, "That thing just appeared out of nowhere. Like it spawned a whole bunch of the cyborgs. Just came straight out of it."
Well, we'll take care of it, I guess. Help with the evacuation effort, please.
Yeah, I'll join them.
Cool.
Do you want
Be
I
safe.
should smash the cyborgs?
We should stop the cyborgs. Yeah, smashing sounds good.
So I just take off, sort of like lumbering around and just like punching them in the head.
Okay.
Whenever I encounter them.
Yep. So we'll start off as the hallway itself is leading towards this fairly large equipment room where you can see like there's a glow coming out of it. So right now, unless someone's got something that can change order, has a little window appeared for all of you for turn order?
I have something that can change order.
Okay. So going from the top down, tech dance, because what happens is essentially it rolls a random thing and then puts them in the same way. Like you shuffle the cards if you had the actual game and then lay them out. So tech dance, magnetar, the cyborgs, cyborg leader 2, your buddy made of mud, and then cyborg leader 1. There's two of the larger cyborgs you encountered last time, as well as a fairly large group of regular ones that have been gated in by this thing.
How do I know if I can change turn order?
So everyone will have an ability that is on there, and I think for yours it might be that you have extra health or resistance. So in the middle of your character sheet, it'll have a little thing on a diagonal, like a box that's been slanted to the right, and it'll tell you what your special thing is. So yeah, tech dance is basically able to take down minions faster. Yeah, different feature sets that go with the power armor pilot. Oh yeah, you're immune to disease, poisons, and other maladies that affect biology. Is your main thing. Beyond that, your team roll card. Did you take the tank card, or is that the one you had? Okay.
And I also have as my my resistance thing invulnerabilities. So I shrug off attacks like they are nothing.
Okay. Yeah, so for those, you'll still take resistance damage, but it just means you, the way that you are able to take a bunch of stuff is from there. So tank-wise, yeah, you're basically able to take damage for other people.
Okay.
Is what that was. So there's now...
It's covered a bit on my screen, so I will take your word for it.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to move that over?
Well, now I can't find it.
So it's on your character sheet. I moved it over to right below Alchemist.
It has not. Oh wait, character sheet in the Gauntlet game information.
No, in the Roll20. So right below the card for Alchemist, I put your the tank card.
This website over here can get afterwards one day.
I mean, for the most part, especially once you get your team roll and now to get your character stuff, all you really need is just you zoom in on that bottom part of your character sheet with the cards on it. That'll really have all that you need.
There we go. Found it again. Okay. Thank you. One day I will get it.
Okay. Is anybody able to mess with the turn order?
I am, but I don't know if I need to. I mean, I could push the bud made of mud before the cyborg leader too, but I don't know if it's worth the hero point really, because there are still 2 others coming after him, and both me and Magnetar are before cyborg leader too. So I think I'll just take the risk this time and not push anybody around.
All right, and let me do one more thing. I'm going to add to it real quick. The artifact itself will be powering up, and let me. Put that at the end for this turn, and I'll put it with the rest of them. I think the artifact itself is starting to power up now that it's arrived here. So we begin tech dance. What are you doing? You've got the artifact going up. You've got some of the cyborgs coming out of the sort of large power room that it's in.
Okay, so the artifact is calling the cyborgs. Can I?
Yeah, what I told you has gated them in.
Okay. I actually want to stop this gate from spewing out more cyborgs. Seems like the most useful course of action, and I think I want to maybe electrify it.
Okay, we're going to shut down the artifact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. I think I'm rather I'm a bit scared to use my technopathy on it again, but I will use my electricity manipulation and just draw some electricity from the vicinity. There are a lot of cyborgs that are powered by electricity, and just try to hit the artifact with that, and maybe make it go bzzz.
So trying to overload it.
Yeah.
All right. So I go ahead and make a roll. Add 2 advantage dice to it and 2 disadvantage.
Oh, goody. That worked so well last time. Also, electrical manipulation is not my strong suit, but I have a 51 and a disadvantage die, but I made it.
Okay. So go ahead and do 2 things. What you've done is you succeeded on one of the complications, or part of the objective, so pull a hero point for that. And also take 10 points of damage from feedback, because it's like there's an unusual... It's fighting you more than normal as you're bringing... And so you feel some of it kind of like jolts back through your system.
Yes, where's my hero point?
Oh, I can deal one too if you want.
No, I want to draw it myself.
Oh, over on the right-hand side, there will be...
I've got it. Yes, I've got it. Thank you.
All right, so
my damage I put on the little character sheet, I guess.
Yeah, or you can put on the...
Yeah, because I have to put it someplace because I have to remember it. There's no place for that, of course.
Okay, so Magnetar, you've got folks coming out. What are you doing?
Yes. So we've got a hallway. Is the cyborg? We've got cyborg minions and 2 cyborg leaders. Who is closest to the 3 of us?
The cyborg leaders right now are a little bit behind. It's the sort of rank and file cyborgs, the minions that are rushing into the hallway.
That makes sense. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to use my magnetism to just like maybe take as many of the minions as possible and just like sweep into the side and pin them against the walls.
Okay.
To free a line for YBM to run through and take on the cyborg leaders.
All right.
And I'd like to go ahead and use a hero point to activate my controller ability to give challenge dice to whatever the minions try to do if they're still able to do stuff.
That gives what? Oh.
So I'll go ahead and spend one of those hero points.
That gives how many to the minions?
2 extra challenge dice to each roll that the enemy makes on their next turn.
Okay.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, that's why I took it. So how many advantage and challenge dice do I roll?
Okay, so you're trying to like sweep them out of the way, to leave open the thing for your buddy made a mud. The other thing you could do if you spend an extra hero point, you could then actually use that as a part of a teamwork thing. later on to throw an extra 2 advantage dice to YBM2. I'd say go ahead and take on this one 2 advantage dice because you're sweeping out of the way, and then I'd take 1 disadvantage dice for the rain.
Okay. And you said in my next action I could spend a hero point on teamwork for Bud of Mud.
I mean, technically, you could just do it during your Bud of Mud if you want, because it makes sense. You've already fictionally set it up.
Yeah.
You can spend a hero point to say, hey, take 2 more advantage dice.
Yeah, I'd be all about that when the time comes. And here comes my roll. Hey. Not bad. 37 with a boon.
All right, 37 with a boon. So we'll have to do is make that take out an extra thing of minions, because minions work a little bit differently. They've got the number, in this case, it's 7. 7 minions, usually you do 1 point with a successful attack, but the boon means you've taken out sort of 2 of them as you crush a few of them against the side.
Mm-hmm.
So while this has happened, the one that has been attacking directly, right now your buddy made of mud has not gotten close enough to be as much of a problem, but the cyborgs themselves, the minions, open fire on Tech Dance. So they have a total of 3 challenge dice for the 2 that got put on them by Daniel, and then the 1 because they are attacking at range. Check. So for them, they have those 2 will cancel themselves out, and the minions themselves. Okay, yeah, so they have an accurate attack. It's a 65% chance of hitting. So Tech Dance, you are hit by some of the lasers as they fire, and again, the energy itself is not the kind of stuff that you're kind of used to being hit. It'll be 25 points of damage.
Okay, so my resistance, does it do anything against that?
Your resistance is essentially your health.
Okay. Okay, because I have this advanced healing, you regenerate wounds too quickly to see. I don't know what that means.
Oh, that's one of your powers?
Yeah, that's there is on the first page there is this military history, vulnerability, resistance, and getting around.
Yeah, the resistance stuff is essentially fictionally how your character. Because the thing is, 1, you are healed after every conflict scene, but it also is sort of fictionally how your character is able to shrug off damage it would like demolish a regular person.
Oh, okay, I get it. So I have 35 points of damage. That's a lot. No, probably not.
I don't know what my resistance is supposed to start at.
100 is normal.
Thank you.
So yeah, as they're going, the cyborg leader, the cyborg leader 2, has noticed as you just moved, like shoved all of them over with the magnetism. Then does an attack on you, Daniel. You will out. So as you're going, there's thing strikes you sort of dead in the chest. You take 17 points of damage there. And then the golem.
Finally. Time to do a thing. So let's see. I have to zoom in a little bit here so I can actually read my abilities. What does it mean when I have 3 things next to it? Does that mean it takes time?
Oh yeah, so with those ones, what you can do is it says that here's a special thing that you can use. If you use that bit, what happens is you put 3 time tokens down on it, which at the beginning of your turn you remove 1. Each turn it means you basically it's like a cooldown for that power. You can't use it for, in this case, 3 turns.
But I don't use it first and then put them down, right? Like I have to wait 3 turns before I use it at all?
No, you use it and then you put down the 3. It means you just can't use that whole power again for the next until the tokens are off of it.
Excellent. I have other powers. I think I would like to try a power stunt and use seismic energy control as an area attack Hulk style.
Yep, that can actually hit all the cyborgs and the cyborg leaders.
And I think this is a good time for me to lend a hero point of teamwork, because that sounds like a sweet attack.
Why, thank you.
So yeah, I would say when you make your roll, go ahead and take 4 advantage dice and 1 disadvantage because you're at range. Range always has 1 disadvantage, and you always get an extra bonus advantage dice if you're at melee.
Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button. 1 second. There we go. I don't know how that happened. Okay, so 4 advantage and 1 disadvantage, yes?
Yep. And if you roll all boons, if you get 4 boons on there, you actually get Spotlight.
What did I get? A single boon and a single drawback and 57.
All right, so what that'll do, so if you want to describe what that looks like when you do it.
Sure. Was there a thing that
Oh, for the tokens?
That
I'll put them on your thing for you.
I forget your name, your in-game name. Other Michael.
Magnetar?
Magnetar said something about doing something, and I don't know if it got done or was supposed to, or if it matters anymore. But I don't want to skip it if you wanted to do a thing.
Oh, I did it. I spent a hero point, and that's what gave you the 2 extra boon dice.
He fictionally set it up when he like shoved them all to give you room.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I think that first I stretch myself up really tall, and then I get thinner because there's like a finite amount of mud, right? Just so I'm imposing looking. And then I jump, and while I'm in the air, I sort of condense into like a boulder, so that when I thump back to the ground, it's just this huge impact all at once that like sends out, that rocks the ground and sends out a seismic wave that knocks all of these cyborgs, not just off their feet, but also scrambles their intricate electronic stuff with the seismicness.
Okay. Yeah, so as it hits them, so what happens is with minions, a success takes them down by 1. But for everything else, you do the amount of the damage that you rolled. So the percentage you rolled becomes how much damage you do. The 2 cyborg leaders had 50 resistance. So those ones just they hit and kind of crumble from what you do. There are still some of the other cyborgs that are kind of trying to get their feet again. But you are now down to essentially just the artifact itself, which is still there's still this kind of it reaches this thing. The humming changes.
Did what I do to it? Did that do anything to it? Did anything happen? Because
yeah, you've got a there's a thing I'm keeping track of as far as that goes. You're trying to shut it down as it's still powering up, but you are able to put more stuff on it. Essentially, it had when you saw it earlier, it's got a three things to power up. One of them was from that one when you were still at the place. The second one goes up now. There's a third one that can happen there, but you also have done a thing towards shutting it down. So even if it activates, you can still shut it down. It's got a 3 on that one. So you are working towards getting that shut down. Boons can help there. So right now, there's just a lot less stuff to deal with. Yeah, right now we've got Tech Dance, Magnetar, the Cyborgs, the Artifact powering up, and let me remove the one that's not attached to the card. And then your buddy made of mud goes in that order, unless you want to switch the order around some.
It's good to have a goal.
Oh, Sabine, you were talking, but I think you're muted.
I'm muted. So I'm saying it again. I want to push up the bud made out of mud.
Just by 1 or by more?
Yeah, by 1. That should be enough because then what are these other 2 thingies? They're cyborgs, right?
Yeah, so you do still have cyborgs.
Okay.
There's 4 out of the original 7 on the size of that squad left.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'll take them out and then we can deal with the artifact.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let me know what you do, and then make your roll.
Oh yeah, I'm bored with these guys, these cyborg guys. I'm using technopathy, and I will. I can animate a group of machines as a power stunt, right?
Mhm.
So I can animate them to go and hit the orb.
Okay.
I will try to do that.
So yeah, what I would do is I would go ahead. So there's two things can happen here. One, you can basically create a squad size for of minions, which would essentially take control of them and turn them into your squad while also removing
Yep.
them as a group.
Exactly.
It's going to be a little
Yep.
difficult to do. Take
Sure.
2 advantage dice, but also take 3 disadvantage dice.
Okay. I spent hero dice before, the hero points before rolling, right? I can't spend them retroactively.
You can the biggest point is usually spending it after if you failed to see about doing it. The other thing is to use your team roll's benefit.
Okay.
Yeah, unless someone wanted to spend a hero point to give you 2 more advantage dice, they could set up a team roll.
Cool. Thank you.
So how are you helping out?
I'm gonna come near so that if anybody tries to mess with her, I will punch them and take the
Cool.
damage.
Oh my
A lot more relaxed when you've got a huge golem in front of you.
Yeah, that's kind of makes it easier. So then I rolled 4 advantage dice and 3
Disadvantage?
challenge dice, right?
Mhm.
Cool.
I don't know what to do on the.
Wow.
Oh, you've got in your hand. You have
Yeah.
some hero points. You can just remove one of those.
Where do I put it?
You can just put it on the board, or you can delete it. Either one.
Okay.
All right, so 2 extra boons there. So as you grab it, what you'll actually be able to do, so you'll take them out with your attack. As you kind of grab them and they start taking, so you animate them to just start attacking the artifact.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And with those extra boons, you can actually do some extra points of damage toward. You can just shut it down.
Cool.
So this point, as they start striking the thing, there's almost a screech comes out of the thing, as now you are the humming itself stops for a moment, but it's still glowing. Magnetar, what are you doing? This thing is still within this sort of largish machine, almost magic, Kirby looking machine.
Right. So so the cyborgs are attacking the egg within that machine.
Mhm.
Okay. In that case, I'd like to do something. Maybe I'll just attack the machine itself. And at least right now, since the cyborgs are, at least for now on our side, I'm not going to try an area attack because I'd like to keep them fighting well as long as they're fighting on our side. Perhaps I can just try to use my magnetism power to well, I think I'm to rip the machine apart. I may regret this later on if we wanted this to study, but right now I'm just thinking, let's just maybe I'll just try to even just remove the machine from, just kind of pull it away from the egg.
Okay.
And can I power stunt this? And it looks like I only need to use time tokens to make this effect long lasting, so that the effect of what I'm about to do lasts for the rest of the scene.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you don't even have to do the power set. I would just make your roll to see how well you kind of. You're essentially doing an attack on the machine to ruin it.
Basically, yes. So how many dice shall I add to this?
I would go ahead and add 1 disadvantage and 2 advantage.
Okay. Oh, that looks good.
All right, you start to kind of pull those apart. The machine itself breaks apart from the egg, kind of falls onto the ground, and once again is sort of slightly pulsating a bit, which brings us to. I mean, if there's something specific you want to do, your YBM2.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up and take the egg,
All right.
just like I said I would.
So when you,
Literally just dead run, pick up egg, come back to where Princess Yafana is, and say, "I have brought you egg."
all right. So as you grab the egg out of it, like it's got a weird warmth to it. Um, as you take it, and there's almost like it's a whispering. You can sort of hear. You can't make out the language. It's there seems to be words there, but they're not ones you recognize. But you can hear it in your head as you pick the thing up.
Hmm. I have brought you egg. I do not think you should touch it. Something is weird about the egg. Although I am worried it will melt my hands, so maybe we put in a towel.
Yes, please put it down. We'll put it in a towel. That's a good idea. Or something towelish. But we should stop
Basket.
it
Something.
from activating before we do anything with it.
It seems to have a language, but I don't recognize the language, and I only hear it when I touch it, and I do not think you should touch it. I am impervious to many things. I don't know if you are also.
We will find out. I'll touch it. I'm overconfident as a personality trait.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'll
Same-
totally touch it and try to do some technopathy at it.
Okay. Yeah, this as you go through, and once again, sort of like she had that. There's this language sort of coming through, but like the technology here. Earlier, you were almost able to communicate it through the cyborgs, but this is something a bit different. And as you're sort of feeling it, there's like you hear the door opens up, and there's a number of agents from the agency that come in. One of them's like, "This thing looks like it's been locked down."
As far as we can tell. Does the egg still does the egg still look active?
Yeah.
We still need to we do still need to neutralize the whatever energy this artifact is emanating. So, am I able to hold on to it magnetically? Is that if we're concerned about any of us coming into contact with it?
You could wrap it up with some stuff and take it that way.
Oh, okay, that's true. I'm just trying to think if there's anything what if I tried to, would I be able to create like some kind of EMP effect to try to knock out its power? Like super localized, so I don't like knock out like, half the city.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, you're not sure if it would work on whatever this is.
Mhm.
That's something you could try.
Shall I try it, team?
I mean, we don't know.
Am I still touching it? Sorry.
Are you still touching it?
Well, if there's nothing that helps with, then I'm not, because that's boring. If it's not talking to me and if it's not answering, so
Yeah, there's just the sort of whispers right now.
Damn.
I'm just gonna step protectively between my teammates and the egg and these new people who have come along that I don't recognize, and sort of stretch myself out so I am now wide but thin. I don't like it.
It's amazing.
Yeah, especially if maybe I can use my controller ability one more time to give it challenge dice. Maybe that would help what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah, I'll say if you create the EMP effect, what you're going to find is because it's not like electrical kind of magic, because it's a different sort of power. It's not going to shut it down. But if you try the thing, as it hits, like cell phones go off in the room.
Ooh.
And one of the agents is like, "We should take this back to the lab so Dr. Kashgari can look into it."
Is it still powering up or is it shutting down?
Right, it's just there's a low hum there, but it does not seem like it is still sort of powering up.
Okay. So it's plateaued, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that might be as safe as we can make it.
Yeah, let's take it to the lab, and I wanna work with it though, because I think this is, in a way, it's technology, and I guess I have ways of technology.
Okay. Let me, real quick here, open up. We get to decide stuff about the Super Science Lab now.
Ooh, nice! Yay!
So yeah, this is one. Pearl, this will be the first time you see these. One of the things that I'm going to move you all over to a different screen. One of the things that the Spectaculars does is when new things are brought in, the players get to make some choices about what the things actually are, so they collaboratively build the world.
I have
So
my printed out version of this sheet, so I'm just going to start copying.
okay. So yeah, I put the Super Science Lab. It's the probably the third one over of the orange, or fourth one over of the orange ones. There's the Pariahs right below the city information, and then the Super Science Lab. So what we want to discover is, and we come up with a name if you got one, but first, like, what kind of organization owns and operates this lab? We've mentioned agency before, but it could be just something that works with the agency. It does not have to be actual agency.
Could it be my company? Is that a possibility? I guess that's up to the group, right?
Yeah, how you guys all feel about that?
Yeah, sounds fun. Sounds interesting.
And are we defining my company as benevolent or malicious?
I hope you wouldn't belong to a malicious.
Yeah.
But maybe he doesn't know.
True. I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm benevolent, of course. You can trust me. But would we like to go ahead and define?
Or we could define the whole thing as front for an outside force. I mean, that would say some stuff about your company.
Mm-hmm. So my company's a
But-
front for an outside force.
Could be.
Sure, I'd go for that. Why not? Front for outside force.
Are you cool with that?
Do
Yeah.
we define
Everybody?
the outside force now, or do we save that for future sessions?
If we have an idea for now, it could be a cool thing for future sessions too.
All right, but it is definitely Sany, SANY / or dash Lebedev. Again, apologies if by some odd chance that actual artist happens to be watching. It's nothing personal. But you signed your name on my character art, so
Not mean to make it evil. How much does the lab broadcast its existence? The branded customer goods, government contractor, a think tank, a secret lab?
I guess that would be government contractor based on what we've already established.
Where is it physically located? A skyscraper, a secure facility, another country. It could be like the main stuff is in another country.
I mean, the secure facility stuff, that's the default, right? I like the skyscrapers though. Skyscrapers are cool. Especially if you have somebody with seismic powers in the group.
Well, I'd hate for y'all to be doing things you shouldn't because, well, we are in California.
What are the odds of an earthquake happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, with seismic powers, you could stop an earthquake as well as cause it, right?
Oh, true. Bro, what you thinking? We've heard been there. Good from Mike.
It all sounds good to me, and we haven't gotten to what kinds of technology most often come out of the lab, right?
Not yet.
I like the idea of theoretical things.
You want to go skyscraper for where it's located?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So theoretical, dimensional portal generators, deep space transfer. Yeah, so stuff that it shouldn't be. Oh, the Broken Earth is so good. I got some of my students reading that.
What's this? The Broken Earth?
Yeah. I showed them her Hugo Awards speech where she basically was putting a big middle finger up to all the people who were pissed off that a black woman was winning the Hugo for being better than them.
Oh, the Jumson
Yes.
trilogy. I got you. I got to get into that.
They're really good. Cool. So we'll go theoretical there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the idea, especially with the skyscraper, that there could be like things on the roof that no one.
Yeah,
would,
very
You know.
Nice.
very Fantastic Four. Yeah, if you think about it, if magnetism is their like most practical application, just imagine what's still like not fit for public consumption.
All right. And how do they primarily interact with people with powers? We have research subjects, employees / sponsors, field testing, or cleaning up messes.
Hmm.
Oh, he's a puppy.
Well,
Could be
yeah, that's a
interesting.
good question. I'm sorry. What was your idea? I'm sorry.
Oh, just that field testing could be interesting. Like if people with powers who aren't maybe as ethical as some of us have agreed to go along with some of this stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's basically what Magnetar is. He's basically a field test.
Uh,
And yeah, imagine if that also makes sense. Is this company located in Are we still in San Francisco?
Yep. That's the basic city for the campaign.
Okay. Well, there's no shortage of powered individuals here. That makes sense for them to be all about the field testing. Yeah.
I figure it doesn't have to, but it could make for some interesting, like powered people against powered people fighting later
Sure.
out there.
Particularly some of the trickier things. Like there's some stuff they could probably do above board, but the idea that there's almost this like we're having people do some things that are maybe less than okay. How do you spell the name of that thing again?
Oh yes. It's SANY -LEBEDEV.
You sort of hate that it's always hard to tell exactly where the text is going to appear. On roll 20, it goes in one place, then it jumps to another one.
Oh.
Who's number 2? All right. Oh, and then I think we could probably just make Musin Kashgari is at least one of the people for it. Director of R&D. Any other things we want to make true about this company?
Great benefits. That's just me being selfish for my character.
Good working environment. Nice people.
Well, I guess I guess it would make sense. I've decided that I might be like maybe like a mid-range. Maybe, I think my character is maybe the least rich of the initial founding I guess sponsors. I mean, clearly there's at least 2 people ahead of me because they're the ones who got their name in the company. But other than that, I figure it's the company's a blank slate as far as I'm concerned. Beyond that,
I feel like if the company is a bit of a front for this other thing that's testing crazy stuff, that it would be cool if like there were a third layer of powered people inside the company who were supposedly field agents but who were on the side of good that we could make contact with at some point, like double crossing.
Okay. So that third layer you're talking about, like you said powered people on the side of good or on the side of there's basically both sides you have working
Like
from.
they've gotten hired to do the field testing and whatever else, but what they're actually doing is gathering intel on this company that's like using powered people to test unethical things.
oh, you mean the powered individuals who we think are lab rats are actually double agents who are trying to figure out what we're up to?
Not all of them.
Oh, some of them.
Some of them.
Oh.
Like
Yeah, I
there's a faction.
Yeah, I like the idea of
Okay.
espionage. That's lovely. Cool.
Nice. Yeah, corporate. Yeah, so there's at least one other company kind of probably along these lines doing some stuff. And they want to make sure what the competition's doing.
And they might stumble over the people who are actually behind San Libidev. So that could lead to very interesting complications.
That becomes a an important part of the kind of the background of the world itself.
Mm-hmm.
Sandy Lebedev, Super Lev, and make a note. Big corp. It'll be in hands involved in a bunch of stuff. I do know that Mike, I think you're going to leave in about 5 minutes.
About, yeah.
Okay. So at this point, I know Mike has to leave here fairly soon. Did we want to call it here for today, or do we want to do a little bit more? I know the scheduled for up to like about a half hour or so. If we want to leave it here, it seems like not a bad place to pick it up next time.
I wouldn't mind closing down now because I have another game in half an hour, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
So I wouldn't mind, but I'd be upside on for the other half hour. So
okay. Yeah, if you want to put under story progress, give yourself another X, and I'll put yours in because you're having the table stuff wasn't showing up for you.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
the next box gets filled in. If you get all the way to story reward, then there's like a list of stuff in the books that you can use to advance your character.
I'm quite enjoying that. Like, for most of the game, I was like, I clearly created a character that does not belong in this setting at all. But then, like, when push came to shove, I was able to do my move and knock out, like, all the bad guys. And I was like, yay, I have a role after all.
Well, the funny thing is the character, like, the magic stuff got introduced at the end of last month's thing with the street level. Because, like, Mike was a part of that. So, like, since magic was a possibility, it needs to be something that people are now just starting to learn more about. So the golem actually fits in with the fact that magic and some of these other things are going to start to become known in the world, whereas as up till now they were fairly unknown.
Yeah, I love the golem and the word side, the way he looked at the word, that was just so straightforward. It was lovely. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, I feel like that's part of the magic of the Spectaculars game, is that I think it maybe enables a little more cross genre action than your typical your typical supers game, because you can create a character that's perfectly in tune for one particular subgenre but you can still keep playing the character and it still finds a way to fit, and even in character where there might be like fish out of water type characters. But yeah, I think it worked well for all involved here.
I definitely want to see YBM 2 go back to Manechi's at some point.
Me too. And I think it's good that I switched to the alchemist role, because like with the sigils and stuff, having been around for hundreds and hundreds of years and been around mystical magic, I feel like if that plot line goes anywhere, suddenly YBM squared will become more useful other than just smashing things. In the meantime, though, I am happy to smash things.
Yeah, I'd like to see a Mystic campaign with YBM and Spine from the first campaign, our Celtic occult rocker.
Was that
series?
Stephen Desjardins?
Oh yeah, I just want to see those two characters together because
right.
I think he mentioned specifically that I would have liked Spoon or Spen or whatever.
Oh yeah, he had a thing that a friend of mine in a campaign that when World of Darkness first came out and I was running it, he played the werewolf in the vampire game. He was the person that anytime I needed something to become difficult for the players, like some social thing, he would screw up without me having to say a word. Like when Steven took the picture, when he took a selfie and posted it, I posted it to Twitter. I'm like, oh, thank you. That's a great reason for people to show up right now.
He was in my first ever Gauntlet game, so I consider him one of my like 3 godfathers of Gauntlet. And I've played with him a lot, and I always enjoy his characters. So I hope that somehow, Spine.
Spine, I think you pronounced. I think Is he signed up for next week? I thought he said he was signed up for one session.
It might be a little bit later. That was my first time playing with him. He was a lot of fun.
He's totally great. And for the record, since you've only played with me once before, I don't always play people who are smashing or beheading things. like Sabine, you probably know this about me at this point, but our dear GM has played exactly one other game with me in which I rolled so badly so many times in a row that I just finally gave up on having any agency at all and started trying to plan beheadings for everyone in the game. And that was my defining characteristic.
I do remember because you were also then playing in the real life stuff. So I'm trying to remember what was with your character in the real life part of that one.
Oh, she was trying to help a student who was being advantage of by a graduate.
Creepy graduate guy.
Yeah. Who she told off and did not behead. Although I think she threatened to behead him too the last session because I got really punchy in the last session.
that was really funny.
Could not separate my play character from my out of play character and was just threatening to behead people in the department at the university. So, I will have you beheaded. And he was like, you can't. What? And I was like, wait. Oh no.
See, when it happens like that, that's actually a perk of Slings and Arrows. When the play was taking place in the modern time and we would forget, that was less of a perk.
Anyway, sorry about the aside. I just felt like I should clarify I am capable of playing peaceful characters.
Well, that's one of the reasons I appreciated this session because I've heard both Pearl and Sabine. I both seen you around Gauntlet and Twitter and all that stuff for quite a bit, and I was happy to finally get to game with you all.
I'm happy to game with you too.
Yeah.
I occasionally play characters who will punch everything they can find. So
apparently, I do too.
Very good.
All right, I'm gonna sign out now. So thanks again for running, Michael.
Oh, great to see you again. Thank you much for playing.
Nice meeting you.
Likewise, I'll see you all some friends.
All right.
Here.
Bye.
I can probably get my grading started to finish up and have the rest of my weekend free.
I signed up for 2 a.m. games because I like playing with the European contingent and don't have any sense of self-preservation, apparently. So I have a game at 2 a.m. and then at 8 a.m. That's going to be interesting.
I do morning games in the summers with Europeans because I'm a teacher, so I've got the summer off. But it's daytime for me.
There's one weekend coming up where I have a 2 a.m., a 5 a.m., and an 8 a.m.
Okay, that's a lot.
A lot.
And I don't think I realized it when I was signing up for any of them individually, and yet it's